Viacom New Media was a game developer and publisher, and what they did is they released 4 games for the Sega Genesis. They also did some Game Gear games and a Sega CD game. And in today's video, we're looking at the Sega Genesis games that they published. And I'm going to take a look at these games. I'm going to share some gameplay and give them a letter grade. I've done several other ranking videos on my channel. The link will be below to those. I love going into these fairly obscure game companies, looking at their libraries, and sharing with you what games are good and maybe some games that aren't so much. And so I have gone over several game companies, and this is an interesting one. And so you're going to have your favorites. I know I'm going to have mine. So sit back, relax. You may want to grab some popcorn. Here we go. First up is Nickelodeon's Aaahh! Real Monsters. And this is a favorite for some. Plays a little bit like Lost Vikings, in which you're one of 3 monsters. You're going through a school to learn how to scare humans. And I thought this was pretty well done. It's got great animation and sound. And definitely, if you're a fan of the show. Now, this is a show that was fairly popular. It was around several seasons. And, you know, I didn't grow up with Nickelodeon. I didn't have cable. But I enjoyed playing this game. I think it has great gameplay. 3 separate monsters with different abilities. And you have to choose different ones to get through this awesome side-scrolling platformer. It's got some puzzle mechanics to it, tons of secrets. For a licensed video game, I actually think this was well done. And if you're a fan of the series, you definitely need to play this if you haven't. Also, it's not too expensive for a loose copy at least. And there is a Super Nintendo version as well. And I really like some of the different gameplay mechanics that they incorporated into this game. I found it enjoyable. Is it my favorite Sega Genesis game? No. I probably would still rather play Lost Vikings, but this is good. This is a solid licensed title and definitely one to track down or at least play. I like the boss fights too, as they were unique and something that you didn't see every day. For a late Sega Genesis release, I really enjoyed playing this, and I'm going to give it a B. Solid B. Definitely worth checking out. Love 'em or hate 'em, Beavis and Butthead was everywhere in the mid to late 90s. And the Sega Genesis game? Well, let's start off with what the game gets right, is the look. The graphics match the cartoon. And I think they did a good job with the graphics, especially in the Sega Genesis. And so the story goes is you have tickets to go see Guar. Dog takes them, throws them up. Lawnmower runs over your tickets and the tickets scatter, and so you have to search and find pieces of your tickets around town. And so it is definitely a puzzle adventure game. It's less of an action game, which the Super Nintendo was. And so I like how it looks. The gameplay is okay, but you know, I don't think it is as good as the Super Nintendo one. I found this game to be rather difficult. Now, for people that like puzzle adventure games, you may like this game more than I did, but the brutal difficulty really makes this game average. You are going to die, and then that's it. Game over. I don't like that part of the game. This is a C for me. Based on a fairly obscure cartoon, but has a cult following, you have Phantom 2040, and this is an excellent action platformer. Tons of levels. This really is the best that Viacom New Media did. I've talked about this game long ago, as you know, I don't know exactly when I picked this up. You know, must have been along with my Sega Genesis collecting of the late 90s, but this is an excellent game. Highly recommend it. And not everybody knows about this game. I'm not going to say it's a hidden gem anymore, but this is one of the best action platformers on the Sega Genesis. I highly praise this game. It's got tons of different endings. You have 14 different weapons, different items and gadgets, so it kind of has that Batman feel to it. And you know, there's huge levels to explore. There's tons of hidden secrets. There's awesome things from the show, so if you're a fan of the show and you haven't played this, you definitely need to check it out. It's got awesome animation and sound and graphics. The sprites are really large. It's got good gameplay. boss fights. This game has a lot to enjoy, and I highly recommend going and checking it out. It's just a lot of fun to play, you know. And I didn't grow up with the cartoon, and I didn't, you know, I'm not an expert of Phantom 2040, but what I can tell you is I enjoy playing this game because it has many things about a video game that you're going to enjoy. And so if you're a fan of these types of games, definitely I highly recommend you to go track this one down. Loose cart box copy. This one's not as cheap as some others I've shown already, but definitely this is an obscure kind of franchise that had an awesome game on the Sega Genesis. This is a total A for me. Then you had the puzzle game Zoop, and for me it was just alright. You know, there were so many companies trying to cash in on doing the next Tetris puzzle game that was going to be a hit, and Zoop is different. I like it, I just don't know if I love it. There's two different types of modes, continual and level, and so you're going around, you're trying to capture shapes, and you're choosing them by color, so your ship changes colors, and then that determines what types of shapes that you're going after. And so I think this game is okay. I never really got a ton of value or fun out of it. You know, I played it, I was okay at it. You know, it takes a little bit to figure it out, but once you figure it out, you know, if you're a puzzle fan and those are the types of games that you want to check out, you may like this better than I did. You know, I'm more of a Tetris and columns puzzle guy. This to me just wasn't as fun. The sound is okay, the control is okay. I just thought that the game in general was just okay. You know, I found myself just kind of wanting to kind of go through the motions and play this. I just didn't feel compelled to really move forward and progress in this game. It was just okay, just kind of a puzzle game by the numbers, you know. And even though it's kind of a unique idea, I just didn't find a ton of enjoyment playing this. It's a single player game as well. I just, you know, you may be a fan of this, I just think it's okay. It's a C for me. Here's the unreleased prototype that I wanted to share with you, and it's not complete, but I wanted to show you Congo the Game. And so the first level, which is as far as I ever got, what you're rafting down the river. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen the movie, but here it is. Rather difficult game, and so you have to clear these jumps and have to land just right, or you hit the rocks and the game is over. No sound included with at least the version that I found online, and so this game can be rather difficult. I don't know how many levels are on the unfinished prototype, but this is some gameplay. It's got some nice graphics. Would have been interesting to see the sound. But yeah, you know, this late release game, you know, I'm sure it was canceled for a reason. You know, I do believe the movie was pretty bad. But, you know, for those out there, there's lots of unreleased games and, you know, ROMs available to play these unreleased games. And, you know, I think that's kind of interesting to see the concept that they were going for here. I'm not good at this game and wasn't able to even get through the first level. And that's it. And here's the final rankings. So what did you think? Did you have any memories of playing these games? You know, I grew up in the 90s, and, you know, there's several games that come to mind when I was playing the Sega Genesis. You know, Viacom New Media was a smaller game company, but I bet several people at least checked out the Beavis and Butthead game. You know, and it's kind of interesting too to see the differences on different consoles, some releases. And, you know, there's going to be games out there that you are going to remember. And if you didn't discover any of these, well, this is the time. You know, play these in emulator, check these out. You may have a few of these in your game collection already. So, anyways, I want to thank everybody for visiting my channel. I do lots of different content. I do ranking videos such as this, product reviews. I also do a bad video game series. And so thank you so much. Let's keep it positive. And if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button and click the bell as I'm uploading videos every week. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. This is the immortal John Hancock, and you have a great day.